Hey guys, Hydra Head here, and this is Dissonance. As you can see, I'm doing another car video. Eventually, I'm gonna figure out how to make my camera not so zoomed in, but I just can't find it in the freaking settings. So bear with me, friends. Anyway, this is Dissonance. This is by Image, or well, actually, it's by Top Cow, which is owned by Image. Top Cow usually does a lot of dirty stuff. They're very cheesecake heavy, like Xenoscope. They have a lot of adult covers and SFW stuff. Also, a lot of good stories, art. I don't know. Overall, I would recommend Top Cow for anybody that's never read them. Not all their stuff's dirty. Dissonance is about there's a planet called Phantasma where everybody is extremely intelligent, hyper evolved as far as learning and intelligence goes, but they have no moral compass, no sense of morality or ethics or empathy for others. So they're always war torn and just constantly trying to destroy themselves. To try and get around this, they sent out the pacifist version of the Phantasmin, which are the inhabitants of Phantasma planet. Apparently, even though they have no morality, no empathy, or anything like that, they still discovered pacifism, and there was a small group of pacifists, and they sent out basically an exploration group to various different planets to try and find some way to fix their issue. So, of course, the best choice they found was Earth, and they struck a deal with the Earthlings to where they could basically synchronize themselves with the Earthlings. The Phantasmin and a human would join together and create a new being. If the synchronization worked perfectly, they were called full sync. That was very rare, very abnormal. Not everybody got that. More commonly was the half sync, where the two hosts get along, but neither one of them is in total control, and there's not really a new species. It's just a big mutation. The full syncs are, of course, considered to be something special, as we see in the Earth now, which is about 5 years into the future since this started happening. This guy here is a full sync. Everybody's very, very impressed with him. Essentially what happens is that it seems like at first everybody is very, very much a fan of what's been going on in this world. But as the story moves along, we find out that there is a small group of people who aren't into it, and we also find out that there is a large group of people controlling the media who are basically using the media as a way to control the populace. I know, right? Impossible that this could happen in real life, but fantasy, anything can happen, right, guys? Right, guys? So this whole race of perfects and imperfects is basically controlling society, and what they do is they use the media to shock people into getting things done. So they were planning on having this big event end with everybody in the stadium dying, and instead, this new guy who took over, this guy here, instead he just assassinated one key person. And everybody in this meeting of TV execs and stuff, they're extremely disappointed in this guy and are lecturing him and just coming down hard on him. And then we also meet his sister, Roisha Herviet, who is quite the little bitch, to be completely honest. And the whole time this meeting's going on, she's staying quiet and just mentally rebuking her brother and talking about what trash he is and how great she is and how she's gonna be the best thing that ever happened. Get a lot of character development from various people throughout this section. We also meet Portia, who appears to be just a standard human. This is where the Top Cow, I feel, comes in. So this girl here is the servant to our main character's sister, or who I assume is our main character's sister. And bad stuff happens to Portia whenever this little freak gets pissed off. And really, what it does is I think, is it starts off explaining the world like a utopia, and then it shows that, like all utopias, there's people walking by, I don't need them hearing me. And what it does is it shows that all utopias have some severe underlying issues, which we really find out here when our, I think this is actually our main guy, Pym, and his little buddy are discussing the difference between this world and their world, and this is where we learn that there are a group of humans who aren't happy with what's going on, and they're called the opposition. How topical. And of course they're portrayed as violent, ignorant rednecks who just don't like intelligence, they don't like evolution, they don't like anything that's good. And it's honestly looking like they're very much going to portray these people as the actual villains, when from my point of view, these phantasmen are the actual villains. They're basically just coming in and they're using humans as a symbiote and a host and just destroying everything and speeding along technology. And that's one nice thing about this story, is it is kind of hitting both sides, but it's taking it from the view of somebody who is on the quote-unquote correct side of history. So I'm hoping that as the story moves along, we're going to find out that there's a little bit more to it than just surface level topical freaking politics. But we'll see. And again, the reason I'm not going to really read into much of this story is because I want you guys to go ahead and check this out. It comes across very much like an anime script that's just been converted into a comic. I guess it could a lot have to do with this guy who looks like he's straight out of that freaking Fence comic. But anyway, it does, as you get into it though, translate well into comic book form. Let's skip over this demented scene with Portia and the freaking sister. As we get more in-depth story between Portia and the sister, it hints at a lot of the character's past without actually telling us anything about it. And we get this nice ending reflection where the sister is questioning her own motives and also kind of the motives of society. I don't know, it's a good starting book. It can either go very, very well in the next issues, or it's going to take a huge left turn, and I'm going to absolutely despise everything about the book. But so far, I'm liking it. I recommend it. If you haven't already, check it out. Also, if you want a better review, Dark Philly does a much better in-depth review on this. And just so I don't forget, this is written by Curphy, art by Nugroho, and I'm guessing color by Basri. Sure, I butchered them names all up for you. Okay, yeah, writer. 2 writers. Created by Melita Curphy, written by Nugroho and Katie, artist Sami Basri, and colorist Sakti Uwano. Lads, them some difficult names. I haven't heard of any of these people. Did like the art though. Thought that was nice. The coloring was kind of pastel, lavendery, much like angelic. The colors came across a little too childish for me, but overall, decent read, decent book. Check it out. It's $3.99. So I mean, yeah, I'd pay for it. I'd pay it again. All right, guys. Hail Hydra, baby.